Shri Mataji, good morning. Let us bow down to Shri Mataji, raise our Mother Kundalini and put Panda. Let us start with Three Maha Mantra, followed by Shri Ganesha Mantra. Let us place our left hand on the lap, right on the left Swadhisthana. Shri Mataji, please give me the pure knowledge. Shri Nimal Vidya once. Om Twami Vasakshat Shri Nilmal Vidya Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. Right hand move to center Swadhisthana. Shri Mataji, please make me a creative person. Shri Brahmadeva Saraswati. Om Twami Vasakshat Shri Brahmadeva Saraswati Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. Slowly move our right hand on the left hand on the right Swadhisthana. Shri Mataji, by your grace, please take away all my thoughts and doubts and give me inner peace. Shri Mataji, you are the doer, you are the enjoyer. I do nothing at all. Shri Hazrat Ali Fatima. Om Twami Vasakshat Shri Hazrat Ali Fatima Bi Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. Let's put our attention on Swadhisthana chakras and we will meditate for a while. Let us slowly open our eyes and watch Shri Mataji's talk.
We have come here to such a beautiful surrounding. The nature is all watching us. The Mother Earth has created such beautiful scenes for us to see. Somebody has to translate me in Spanish. When I was born in Chindwara, that also has the same kind of surroundings. Now, of course, they have cleared out a lot of places, but still, if you go a little further, about say 20 miles, then you find the same kind of big jungles. They are full of tigers, leopards, all kinds of wild animals. And the goddess is called, in India, as the goddess of the mountains. It's called as Pahado Wali, meaning the mount, belonging to the mountains. And she resides on the mountain. As you must have seen that Saptashringi is also placed on a mountain in Nasik. Near Nasik you have been, Vani. She represents the Adi Shakti. And she represents the half a matra of the oak. Like 3.5 matras are there in the Om bird, meaning the half moon, half circle. Mantra means the half circle. So as you know, there are Mahakali, Mahasaraswati, Mahalakshmi, 3 powers. And above them is the Adishakti. So she is 3.5 coin. And the last half coin is on the top of all these, representing the highest. So this half matra, Adishakti, is the one has got representation in the Saptashringi with the 7 Shringa means the shikaras. 7 shikaras means the peaks. 7 peaks. 7 peaks. That is, you have to pass through 7 hills to reach the last, 7th one. So it represents the 6 chakras, and the 7th one is that of the Saptashringi, means the Adishakti. So in the nature also, it is very clearly expressed, the advent of the Adishakti. One may say that why it is in India that we have got all these 3.5 goddesses. Why such partiality of God? But it had to be somewhere. And wherever you put it, it would have been something, a partiality. But somehow the Indian climate is such that people don't have to worry about the nature so much. You can live in the jungles for 12 months. No snow, no problem of cold, and heat also you can avoid in a jungle. So it's very balanced. So the problem of fighting the nature is not arise. Because people had to fight the nature, they became extroverts, more right-sided. So the ego developed. And this is the reason that though in India we have all these great manifestations by the Mother Earth of 3.5 Shaktis, people are not egoistical about it. But in the West, you see, people get very egoist about anything that they have. It's a crime in India to be an egoist. If somebody says too much I, then it's regarded as sin. So the situation is different there. When people come to worship those goddesses, these 3.5 goddesses as they call them, then the Indians feel very happy about it. They adore. Like when you people sing the Indian music, they adore you. They think it's very remarkable. But if the Indians sing the Western music, then the Western people start finding faults with it. Not the Sahaja Yogis, but otherwise. But this kind of temperament is necessary for Sahaja Yoga. That we appreciate others, not to criticize others. If you are criticizing, then you cannot imbibe any good qualities in you. But to appreciate others also comes through good tradition. In Sahaja Yoga, we have to develop good tradition. We have our Sahaj culture with us, where I would not say that Indians are perfectly all right. They have all the defects of the left side. And they have to improve a lot. And they have to learn from you. In the same way, you have to learn from them. As they have to appreciate you, you have to appreciate them. Now if there's a poet who will sit here, he'll watch the beautiful things, what God has given, and he'll sing the praise of God. But if there is a modern poet, then he will curse God. His mind will find out some fault somewhere. Modern mind is very good at finding faults. So the sensitivity to appreciation is very dull. On the whole, the sensitivity is less for joy. If the sensitivity is low for joy, then they have to take injections to feel the joy. So they have to use the music, which is very jarring. Should be absolutely shaking the nerves. And otherwise, they are very sensitive to noise. It's difficult to deal with this modern mind because it cannot imbibe the beauty of joy within itself. While the God Almighty is the source of joy. When you see this beautiful nature and the sun playing around with it, you just become thoughtless. And you just get lost into the eternity. But in the modern times, philosophy has taken place by economics. So we want to see what is the economic value of everything. In that then we try to develop it in such a way that it is appealing more to the economic value. And that is why the modern man cannot see the beauty which is beyond economics. He runs from places to places, thinking that it has more economic value, but that value cannot give you joy. Up to the point that when it comes to art, also people make it an economic value. They will buy a painting because it can be resold. They'll put a money in a jewelry which can be resold. The whole thing you can see so clearly that even the gold and silver has got a brand. Everything is branded, standardized. So I was surprised that in India every house will have some silver, but here the silver has to be some brand, which only very few can buy. Same with the gems, same with gold, everything is branded. But these are very cunning tricks. By too much advertising and too much conditioning, they can have a name, some stupid name, has no meaning. And then they can sell it under that name, whatever they want. Like that, we have many names in the West. Like when we came to London, we thought of buying some things for the kitchen. And they said Philips is a good name. Horrible it was. All Philip things were, I don't know what sort of an alloy they had used. It was brittle. And it would break like a brick. Brick is difficult, I would say. It would break like an ordinary biscuit. But the name was so great, Philip. I was doubtful because the vibrations were not good. And we had a horrible servant by that name in my family. But everybody said, what a name, what a name. So we bought. And this is what exactly these false gurus are doing. They take big names, difficult ones.
Nombres difíciles.
Now what does that mean? Chit is the attention. Vilas is the luxurious enjoyment. Luxurious enjoyment. And the joy is the essence of that enjoyment is the joy. So it means the one who enjoys the joy of the luxurious joy of the attention.
Quiere decir, la persona que goza
Now for a Western mind, oh God, what a great name. They don't also see the face, which is like a mouse, thin like a beanstalk and stinking like a pig. To them he is the Guru. And the another name I heard was Guru Mai, the mother who is the Guru. Now this woman, if you see her, she looks like any street woman of India, who has cut her hair like a Western woman with very small hair, Once Indian Sahaja told me that in America everything is upside down. If you want to make out a woman from a man, it's very easy. The one who has a long hair and a plait sometimes is a man. And the one who has the crew cut is the woman. So this Guru Mai is without any hair, without any beard, or mustaches. And she uses all slangs and funny abuses of American language. But people are very impressed by her. That is what it is. They have picked on this point, that brand it. Like Sahaja Yoga, big name. So, if you see the faces of the Siddhas, They look like dead people. So this kind of branding has really deceived the seekers in the West. Have deceived. And this deception has gone too far, because it has also economic value. Like in Boston, they asked me, how many Rolls Royces you have? Now, you have to face these people who have all upside down ideas about the Guru and about divinity. In the modern life, everything is man-made. In the same way, in spiritual life, they are all self-made. And they talk like this, where I have another life, that I'm going to the most expensive Guru these days. And there's a Guru shopping going on. So, the whole thing is to be seen properly, witnessed, as Sahaja Yogis. So one has to say that reality is not economic activity. Economic activity is a human endeavor. Say for example, there's a stone here and it has no economic value. But if some human being takes it to the city and puts a brand on it, then it has an economic value. So the truth cannot be sold, and you cannot pay for truth. This point has to be nailed down into the minds of the seekers, is to be brought round to their heads, that you cannot purchase your Guru and you cannot pay for your self-realization. It's not that low, and also not man-made, not through man's effort, but is spontaneous and living process of God's love. I think some of you should write articles of this line, without mentioning Sahaja Yoga, if you want. Sahaja Yoga is the other way round. For example, I have my own name, which I carry. And the first name, Shri Mataji, is given to me by people in India. The second thing about Sahaja Yoga is that it has to work out. It is the becoming. Here the Guru does not run after the disciples. Because somebody is rich or somebody is very powerful, there is no special attention to such a person. On the contrary, if you do not have that state, and you cannot reach a particular state of understanding of Sahaja Yoga, you are asked to quit. Some people complain to me, Mother, see, why am I thrown out of Sahaja Yoga? After all, I have done so much for Sahaja Yoga, I have done so much for the work of Sahaja Yoga. Now this instrument is doing some work.
Este instrumento, por ejemplo, ahora está funcionando, está haciendo un trabajo.
Because if I don't speak through it, it is useless. But supposing it starts thinking that I am doing the work, you throw it out of circle. It will go out of order. So the proper understanding of Sahaja Yoga is that we are instruments of the divine, and that we have to keep ourselves properly tuned for the good work. We should get our machine cleaned out, properly maintained and respected, so that the work of God can flourish through us. And it's very easy. You have to just meditate every day sincerely and understandingly, not mechanically. You have no idea how much knowledge you have got. Yesterday, those people who came to me from Siddha Yoga told me that they had to pay a lot for this mantra, Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. And this mantra was told to them in secret, you see, very great secret, individually. And they had to pay quite a lot of money to begin with. And they had to pass to 7 people. And at every step there were boxes kept, see, for receiving money. Then this horrible Chidvilasanand was sitting somewhere in the dark because his face is horrid. And this lady looks like a man. So in the darkness they just tell them in the ears this great mantra. Now you all Sahaja Yogis know what does this mean. You have tremendous knowledge about the Kundalini, which nobody had. You can raise the Kundalini with your fingertips. You can give a bandhan to the sun, to the moon, to everyone around. You can stop the time. You can stop the rain. You can start the rain. You control so many things. Only one important thing is to get rid of your backdated ideas and your egos and conditionings through meditation. That's all. There was a fisherman who was an ordinary fisherman. He got his realization. But he was aware of his powers. And he had to go to another island for Sahaja Yoga work. And he went to the shore and he found a big storm ahead. He looked at the storm and said, now, you don't misbehave. I'm going for my mother's work. Now, will you behave yourself till I come back? So all the clouds disappeared. Went to that village, did the work of Sahaja Yoga and came back. And when he went home and was sleeping, then it started raining. It's very dark. So today I have to tell you that you have to be aware of it. You have to be aware of your powers. You have to be aware of my powers. They are unlimited. So I can't say you can be aware of all the powers, can know them. It's not easy. But whatever you know about me, you should be aware of it. There are so many ways by which you can know about me. That my photographs appeared in the sky, that you saw all the deities sitting around me in a photograph, that you all had light on your heads, is a certificate that you are realized souls. Despite whatever problems you had on your Kundalini, still you are realized souls. Only thing you have to do is now, is to keep yourself clean. Look at that child going there. So, mainly your attention has to be all right. Attention has to be concentrated upon your spirit. Then you become the best instrument. Your attention very powerful. It's not nothing outside. Like you may think that if you develop a big beard and a moustache and long hair and sit down like Guru Nanaka, you don't become Guru Nanak. It is not outside. It's the inside state. The inside state has to be perfected. I know I am Mahamaya, but you are very lucky people, because I always remind you I am Mahamaya first of all. And the another point is that you have somebody with you to tell you and guide you, which none of the saints had, none of the incarnations had, none of the prophets had. So please make full advantage. Have full advantage of being my children and bringing more and more seekers to Sahaja. So today I would like you to have the awareness of your powers. You are sitting on top of a mountain and you are sitting on top of the evolution. In knowledge you are the greatest yogis. In power, you are the greatest yogis. You can become the greatest saints in righteousness and in dharma. Where you lack is the dedication and devotion, the pure desire. Like these yogis used to go in the jungles, live there with wild animals, and used to practice meditation to achieve self-realization. Years after years, lives after lives, because they had a pure desire so strong within them. But in Sahaja Yoga, you move one step and you get blessings. Another step you get another blessings. It's nothing but blessings all the time. You are blessed every moment. But sometimes also must know, because of Mahamaya character of your mother, these blessings are temptation. So be aware of it and try to keep with humility yourself in the center. It's like ego, you see, with the slightest air, you go up. And like these balloons, any fashion comes in, we all move in the same direction, anywhere it can take. But thank God there is a string which is tied. So we have to be solid pillars of Sahaja, creating the roof for all the seekers of the world, for the emancipation of humanity. Of course, pujas, you know that you go deep. You go very deep into pujas. You touch very great depths. But that is my doing. What is your doing is to keep up that depth. Keep up the enjoyment of that doing. May God bless you.
Let's continue to meditate for a while. Shri Mataji, thank you for your love and compassion. Thank you for your knowledge and immense patience. Please give us strength so that we can ascend spiritually. We may slowly open our eyes. Let's collectively raise Kundalini and put ourselves in Bandhan. Jai Shri Mataji. Thank you for joining Morning Collective.